application. So that is the most important thing we need to understand. That means what? Each and every software or whatever the application software we develop, that may be a UI or that may be a backend, it cannot be having only one file. Always will have multiple files, and multiple files can be able to organize in a different folders. All the folders are needed. For CSS, we need a CSS folder. For images, we need images. Names may not be the same, but purpose of creating multiple folders are the same. The purpose is same. Like we have to organize multiple files in a meaningful manner, and whenever required, we have to take it up. That's the only important thing what we need to understand. And you know the HTML for what purpose we use, JavaScript for what purpose we are using, and like that for the CSS and images for now. So the images and CSS, JavaScript, HTML, all these are currently we know a little bit. That's why we need a folders and files to maintain the project. But later point of time, there are multiple other files, JSON files, database related files, Jenkins related, configuration, build tool related, node modules related, backend related, Java related. So many things will come into the picture, XML things like that. Okay. That means what? We have to have some awareness, because the project is not a small thing. A project is a software which is depends on so many resources, and that resources maybe belongs to different technologies. Based on the technologies, the files will be there. The files will HTML means it's a HTML technology, right? JavaScript technology like that. XML, JSON, database related, SQL related, MongoDB, non-SQL related, and so many Docker related, Jenkins related. Each and every technology will have their own files, and those files are part of your application only. And for that maintenance, we have separate folders and files are required. That's how it will be grow. So the application cannot be like this. It will be much more files and folders will be there. Among them, the major work will be HTML, CSS, JavaScript for UI developer. The major work will goes to there. Each and every time you open and change the HTML, change the JavaScript, add something else, add some CSS, something like that. Mostly 99.9% work will be there for the UI developers are working with us. But the important one time or two time or minimal work will be there for all others like SQLs, like Jenkins files. There are so many configurations. Each and everything will be has to be there. That is the most important thing. That is why we need to understand here the folder structure will shown there. The moment folder section show, we have to understand this is a folder of a project, and then the project will have separate subfolders for maintaining different resource files. That resources are very much meaningful. We organize the resources to maintain. That is what it is. And how to load the project into the visual code idea have been shown. That's very simple, because we have the open folder. This is the only thing is enough. And this is most important thing, because visual code not only supports UI, it supports multiple technologies. It supports Java, backend, front end, all kinds of technologies can be used with visual code. Okay. By default JavaScript, but Java things and all, if you wanted to use, you will have add-ons here. This is the add-on extensions, it's called as. Here we can add so many plugins. If you support by default TypeScript, guys. By default TypeScript, Angular, and Vue.js. Very much Angular support by default visual, because Angular is C# developed in C#. Angular also used C#. And C# is maintained by whom? Microsoft. And Visual Code also developed by Microsoft. That's why directly support is there. We don't want to do anything for Angular support. Whereas if you wanted to use React.js, if you wanted to use Vue.js, if you wanted to use any other Ember.js or any Java in the Visual Code, you have to add the extensions for it. So there is an extension here. If you click it there, it's very simple. You can just type for Java, Spring, something like that. You will be able to see so many plugins over there, and that might be paid tool and free tool. Just you need to install. That's all you can do. Even Chat GPT, that GPT, this GPT, there's a plugin here. That's all. Just log in, install the plugin. It will be available for you. And you wanted to know how to use the plugin and use that automatically. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it should be. So you need to know there are extensions not only for this IDE. There are so many IDEs are there. For each IDE, they build for a purpose and they come up with a default plugins, default things supported, but it can be extended also. There are so many facilities to extend also. There are so many things we can add it here. Because I am very familiar with the visual code. I don't want to, for only Git purpose, I don't want to go for a Git bash. I don't want to go for a some sales for there are source tree kind of a separate Git tool. I don't want to go. I don't want to install. Rather than I install an extension in visual code only, a Git extension, so that my visual code ID itself have a integrated Git inside. I can directly use it. Like that, we have to think always. You need to think like whenever I'm having an ID, I'm landing an ID, then I don't want to go anywhere else. I can integrate here only. This is a integrated tool, integrated development environment. Integrated development environment means anything can be integrated. It is already built for integration. This is having a IDE. This is having what? Notepad here, which is for typing the code and all. It's having a file structure here where the files and folders are there. It's having a command prompt here where I can type the command. This is what currently I can see separately. But there are so many other tools separately. There are some build tools. There are some databases. There are some compilers. There are some servers, developer servers, database servers, Git repository servers. So many different servers we need to depend on. We don't want to go and install separately, but we can integrate here. That is the only target. So we need to understand like that. You might don't know currently, but you need to have a awareness. We can able to integrate in the visual code itself. Anything and everything can be able to integrate into the ID itself. Once it is integrated into the ID, you don't want to just open a visual code is enough for you. You can do anything here only. You should not have a that file, this file open up. You understand what I'm saying? That's what is the mindset. Any questions? Any questions as of now?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, so we understood now something like, just starts with the visual code and starts with the, HTML templates, right? So we have a template here. The moment I just do it like this, we got a template over there. There are multiple things to do that. You can just read about articles related to the visual code, cheat codes. You will understand so many things. You can learn so many things, and you'll understand how we can deal with the visual code with a very efficient manner. All these things. End of the day, we are developing the CSS, HTML, nothing else as of now. Related to that, you can read about it. Okay. So now come back to the actual thing. I was already told you that it's very simple. Like the moment I need to create a div, we can just type div over there rather than typing less than div and all. Just do and enter, you'll be able to see the tag. So if you just put input, input is ready. Are you getting? So like that, you will be able to do it a very faster manner. The fast development can be done here because the facility they given is very much easy. And I want a class called control and import text label with label username, something like that. Text box. Let me save it. And where it is currently, it is in the sample UI. Sample UI is under desktop, right? So let me just go to the desktop and go inside the search and open the. This is the current project. Currently, we are doing correct. We have a username and text box. Now, the question is here. I have an image. If I have an image here, how to use that? Generally, we have to use the images and something like that in a separate file. Okay? We know how to write it CSS, HTML, and all directly JavaScript also in HTML. But If I write it in a separately, how I can able to integrate it? That's the question. So that means what? We were now talking about the external CSS. We are having embedded CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. Talk about it. Na? So we are going to understand now what is external CSS. The external CSS is nothing but what? We are just writing the CSS in a separate file and we include that into HTML. We won't write directly in a style tag. Generally, we used to write in the style tag, right? That we won't do it. We will maintain a separate CSS file in a separate file. And we, whenever required, because if you write it in a separate file, that can be able to use it in multiple HTML. You don't want to use it in one HTML, right? So whereas if you write it in within the HTML, only the CSS will apply only in that HTML. Whereas if it is a separate file, I integrate in this HTML and I will have 100 HTMLs also. One place is enough. Same if I wanted to use it, I don't want to develop it again in the HTML. I just include it there. That's the way of using. Are you getting? So like that, that is the best practice generally. We used to do it. For that purpose, how to do that? So I wanted to go to CSS. I'll create one file called style.css. Guys, are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Any question, please let me know. Okay. Any question, please let me know. Okay. So now I created one style.css over there. Now, if you see there, the style.css, I can able to see in the if you wanted to create a file here itself, you can create. You have a facility to create here. I'm just wanted to show there because it's nothing but file structure for you. You can do anything over there. So I open here. Now, if I wanted to have generally, I need to have a control CSS and the label and we have input. So I wanted to just make this one some CSS thing. I can make it some container here and I'll put this inside that container. Guys, you are following it or not? So now I wanted to align this because I wanted to apply CSS and align this to the center and make sure little bit of colorful to the meaningful manner. For that purpose, what I'm doing there, I wanted to use, I don't want to write the style over there because generally what we used to do it means either we write in the style tag, direct style attributes here, right? That is inline styling. Or what we used to do inside header tag, we should have a style tag and we used to type here the CSS. So I don't want to do that as well because that is internal styling. Now I wanted to use the external styling. External styling means what? It won't be having anything because HTML is meant for HTML. CSS is meant for CSS. JavaScript is meant for JavaScript. If I write it everything here, it's a mixed thing, which is not recommended. We are writing the CSS or we are writing the JavaScript in .html file, which is not recommended. .html is only for the HTML. You wanted to do anything, you do it in the CSS file. That's what is the general scenario. That's the best practice we have to follow. For that, what I am doing, I have a CSS here. I will write a CSS in a separate file. Guys, I'm following. I just want to write it in normal manner, but there is no difference there. I just create a CSS classes in a CSS file. So while I'm doing in a CSS file, I don't want to tag something like style. I don't want to do anything. I just directly write a class. Guys, are you following it or not? Any questions here? Now let
No,
me
sir,
write.
it is clear.
Just wanted to have a container, and in the container I make it display flags, something like that. Let me save it. Now I should go there. And what I have to do, the most important thing is whatever the external files are there, first I need to bring it to my HTML. I wanted to import that CSS to my HTML. Then only we can use the classes and things in the HTML. Then it will apply. If I'm not imported, that won't happen. Are you getting, guys, what I'm saying? So you have a external file. Forget about any file. You created file or somebody created file. End of the day, you need to import it here. That's what in the Bootstrap you did. What did you did in the Bootstrap? You imported that CSS Bootstrap CSS file here. You imported the JavaScript here. So that someone is written that has been imported to your HTML. You can use that now. You understand? Doesn't matter you develop it, someone develop it. They give you the developer thing, you import it to your HTML so that it will work for you. That's what is the thing you need to understand. Okay. Now, I have a file here, which is style.css file. Now I wanted to import this style in my HTML. How to do it? For that, we need to use for the CSS, guys. You need to use called link tag. What is the tag you need to use? Link, and href is equal to path of the CSS file. Where is the CSS file now? I have a HTML. I have a CSS folder. Inside folder style.css. This is what I want to put. That path you have to put it there. So how I'm keeping it? Dot slash CSS style. And type is style sheet. Something like that. Do it. You are guys, you are getting. So what you need to do, if you are not familiar, that's not a problem. You want it only remember there is a link tag we have to use for the CSS to include. There is a script tag. What is the tag? Script tag we use for the external scripts to include. Only thing is we can write a script also in the script tag, or the external thing if you wanted to import also we can use the script tag only. The script tag will have a src. What is that? src, and put the JavaScript file path here so that it will be integrated to your HTML. So script tag is for the scripts, external scripts. Link tag is for the external CSS. So for the external CSS, you have a link tag. For external scripts like JavaScript, you will have a script tag. That's what you should remember. So I'm showing you in this particular session link tag, how to use the link tag. That means we are now learning how to import the external CSS. What is that? External CSS. I already discussed in the CSS, we have three applications. One is inline styling, internal styling, external styling. You remember that? This is external styling. What I'm talking. Okay. So for the external styling, we create a normal way of all the CSS, but how to import is the most important thing. That is what I'm showing. Any questions, guys? Any questions?
No, sir. As of now, no questions.
You are following it, right? Okay. Now I'm saving it. I'm going to the browser, running it. I've been run it. Let me just inspect and see. We can able to inspect and see now what's going on. Now you can simply open up the head tag and you can see the style. And if you click it, if you are able to open the style, then only that's that one. If you wanted to check whether your path is correct or not. If I wanted to check my path is correct or not, what you need to do? You click on the view page source, and you can see the link there, right? You click on it, you see the style is loaded. If the style is loaded and showing, then your path is correct. If that is not loaded, it is showing some wrong, then you are wrong. You need to understand, because you are keeping the path, whether your path is correct or not is the most important. Because if your path is wrong, your CSS won't apply. If your path is correct, then only your CSS will apply. Are you getting, guys? That is the way you can do it. And let me show you once again. I have a HTML I open in the browser. Right click and go to the view page source. Click on it. You see the page source, whatever you type will show. Source means source code, what you type. So it is showing up, and there are so many paths. There will be a JavaScript path, there will be CSS paths, there are images paths, there are video paths, there are multiple animation things, GIF, so many things. They are external files only. We are using paths and use it here. If that is not working, first and foremost thing what you need to do, you need to check the path you given is correct or not. You cannot say simply, I given correct only, it is not working, something like that. You have to know that your given path is correct or not. That is the most important thing as a developer. How to check, I'm telling you. That's the thing I'm telling you. Okay. So you open up the source code and click on the path and see whether the thing is loaded. If your video will be loaded like this. If your image will be loaded like this. If it is video, if it is audio, if it is multimedia, if it is the image, if it is a CSS, JavaScript, anything can load and show you here. If it is showing, your path is correct. If it is not showing, you should work on the path first before doing anything. If my color is not coming, that don't do that. First you see your path is not loaded. Correct your path, work on it. That is the thing. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that is the most important thing. That will be the biggest problem people won't do. That is why they struggle a lot. They won't understand why it is not. I given the color, it is not coming. I given the image, it is not coming. I given the video, it is not playing. First you check the path. That is the most important. Simply you can, because I cannot check, go and see here in the source code. Hey, path is correct only. Path, don't do that. Go to the source code, which is running in the browser. It is running in the browser. Click on it. Loads it. Your path is correct. Simply you can decide. If it is not loaded, see, I will show you. I'll make wrong. Okay. I make it something like style1.css. Is style1.css available? If I change the file name, folder name, I have a folder name called CSS only. If I change the name of the folder, spelling mistake, will that load? Then it won't load, nah? Then you will see how it will load. Guys, are you following? Guys, are you following? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, let me reload it again. See, you got a path there. I'm clicking on it. See what's happening. Like this, it will go. If your path is wrong, you'll able to see this kind of error. Any file that might be JavaScript, that may be a CSS, something like that. Now, you understand now, right? Let me just close it again, and now we go to the. I'll make it a normal, which is the correct one. Now, let me just put up a background color and make sure everything will be correct on it. So I just have a container there. The container is something like a container here, the div. I given the background color something else, means that background color has to be applied. Right. Now I saved it. Let me go to the browser. See, is that coming? Is it coming? That means what? There is a mistake in the link. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the link will have a vast number of attributes over there. So the attributes are not correct because the link is not only meant for your CSS file. A link, the name itself is a link, right? It's meant for so many other resources can be loaded. In that particular case, the attributes you need to be very carefully configure. If you're not carefully configure with the paths and the other attributes, then it won't be loaded properly. So that is the problem. So all we need to do is you can check with the link how to use it. Okay. Let me Google it for that. See how I can see the Google as I'm showing you. Don't simply Google it, open-ended question. You need to know what to do, then Google it, it will be good. For example, I know link tag I have to use it, but I don't know how to use the link tag. For the CSS, Simply you can type it like this. Link for CSS file in HTML. Then you will understand. They might be given you some example. Go and check, you will understand. Guys, you are getting it or not? Now you see style is equal to, oh my God. Guys, you are able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So it was telling some example. Just go and read it and understand. You see that what we have to use? REL. What is that? So link REL is equal to style sheet. Href is equal to your file. So the moment you see so many articles, but you are always concentrate what to read. I don't want all this nonsense to read it. Just concentrate. I'm just looking for a link, right? Something somewhere in the link. See, the moment you see the link, you will stop there. See, yeah, this is what I'm mistaken. Are you getting, guys? This is how the articles need to be read from the Google. Don't simply put it and copy and paste it and run it. What you will get? Nothing. So I got it this now. I copy everything and paste. What you will get? Nothing. So you just concentrate on the article. You are looking for a link. There might be 100 things they were explaining. Don't want to read everything. Just concentrate what you need to do. That is the most important for a developer. You should not read anything nonsense. There are so many nonsense they would put it, but it will take time. If you read it, that's good. That's good. I'm not telling you have to read it. You cannot have a read kind of. You cannot have that much time, and you don't want to read also. And end of the day, you concentrate what you need. That's all. You know something, but you don't know. Little something is missing there, which is REL. What did you given there? What did you given there? You given the type. That's wrong. What you need to put it there? REL. Guys, you are getting it or not? But your ID also know about it. See, automatically it's got already REL and it got href also. So that means what I was telling you, going forward, how to do it. What generally you need to concentrate, how to get the work from the others, get work from the other articles or other videos or anywhere. You want to concentrate, what you not to concentrate. You don't want to learn from each and every ABCD. You know already about it. Huh? Just concentrate, get it done. That is the most important. So that is how you should understand. That's what is my uh, intention to tell you. Now see, anyway, I already done with that. Huh? See, CSS style, the REL is equal to style sheet. Now I'm saving it and I'm going to the browser and running it. Did you see that? My background got updated. So this is how. Now everything is now. You know how to update the CSS, how to develop the CSS and apply the CSS, everything you know. What class you need to put, everything. Now going forward, what you have to do, you don't want to go to the HTML and apply it. You just wanted to develop anything what you want. Like I wanted to make its flex and the flex should be centered. So what I have to do, I just apply this flex over there. There are flex will have a graphical tool, guys. So you can able to use this graphical tool to do whatever you want. You wanted to make it center, you can center it because this particular graphic tool will help us to make sure it be central line or not. Align content, center, justify content, center. Did you see that, guys? Got centered. Now you can copy entire CSS, whatever you got, and see the container is the CSS class. Go to your same way, whatever so far you did, same way. In the container, you have to put it and save and go on refresh it. This is how you do. Previously, you do in the HTML in the style tag, but you don't want to do it now. You can do it in the CSS. Means you should have a separate CSS and you'll have multiple CSS. You'll have multiple CSS for multiple files. You will have only HTML, but you will have multiple HTMLs also. For each HTML, there will be separate CSS also. Yeah, and one HTML can import multiple CSS. So multiple link tags will come for different CSS. That's all. Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
Now let me just, we have control here, and I don't want red background. Right. But I want it to be something different. I wanted to make sure the control also flex. So display flex gap should be some 2 pixels, something like that. Background color will be gray, something like that. Maybe a different color. Choose it from the color. So I'm just showing you here some CSS. I will be creating it, and this is for the control class, right? So I copy that. What is the class I wanted to apply? Control, right? So I go to the CSS file dot control. I have to create it. If the file is not, that class is not available, then paste it. That's all. You can go and refresh. It will be applied. See, it got applied here. The background, color and things like that. Like that, guys. Now what happened? You wanted to add any HTML, go to HTML and add one more control for the control purpose. You add it, keep on adding it for anything you want, right? And you refresh it, you see that it will be added. Now you want down by down. So what you need to do, you can change the flex direction. You got a flex there, right? You will have a flex direction column. So if you wanted to make it column, it will be column. All the things you can, whatever you wanted to do it. Only thing you need to concentrate. What? How to use the external CSS. The external CSS is the thing which is a separate file. You are maintaining the CSS in a separate file, and whenever required, I can able to import to the HTML and use that particular CSS classes. It will be applied. That's what we wanted to understand. Tomorrow, I will have one more HTML, like login.html. Okay. So this is also HTML. Now I have the similar something like similar. Okay. Similar HTML I have. Now I wanted to open up in the browser. So I just open in the browser, login.html. I will see that. But I wanted to apply the CSS. I have already there CSS somewhere I written right in the here. I can able to import that. So I just wanted to import with the link tag. So I will use the link tag in the head, and I have to put the path here. SRC CSS style. You see that, guys? So the path it will be suggested, and it is suggesting because it's IDE. You have to use the same suggestion path, suggested path. Otherwise, you'll do mistakes. Manually, if you do it, it will be very big mistake. You can't understand path properly. All these things of it. So utilize the visual code efficiency and just use the here meaning is dot slash means wherever I am here, from there you start, something like that. So I am in here somewhere in the my project folder. That is what is dot mean. Dot means current folder, current location. Dot slash means from there you start something. You don't want to start from C colon slash something like from a root folder, because why I do that? Because the same. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching the video. If you like this session, please comment and share this video. If you don't want to miss my upcoming videos, please subscribe the channel.